Inside Japan's most extreme minimalist apartment. Let's actually have a look. It looks quite empty so far, but yeah, well, let's see.
This is Japan's most extreme minimalist. He owns less than 250 items in total and takes pride in that.
250 items is not what I would consider necessarily a minimalist, but it does look like he has nothing there. So it really depends on what he considers an item, because you can have an item assembled like a couch with, 60 items, like 60 screws. So if you consider a screw an item, if you consider pillowcases and stuff an item, then suddenly it becomes a lot very quickly.
住んでいるマンションです。もうここに映っているものが自分の持ち物3分の1が映ってます。
And today we're going to spend the day together and he's going to show us what it's like to be, well, him.
こんにちは。こんにちは。
今僕の家にあるものは250個あります。ほとんどの
I love that he's a minimalist, but the one thing he wants is a goddamn vacuuming robot. I am a minimalist, but I am not going to clean that fucking floor.
ものがこの押し入れの中に入ってます。
Pretty much nothing, I guess. I guess I expected more.
これがですね、椅子。これはい。
He said most of his items. I was expecting, I don't know about you guys, but I was expecting a completely full. Wow, it's empty.
いや結構ありますね。ここは本当に物が多い場所です。はい。これが枕、寝袋、仕事の撮影で使うカバン、機材とかが入っているもの。ここが趣味のゲーム、任天堂スイッチとか。
Okay, so it makes a lot of sense. So he's probably going to count a wire as something, one of these as something, one of these as something, one of these, that's 4, 5 just there. Like that's 5, and then 6 with a bag that we see. 7, and probably some games, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's say he has like 5 or 6 games. Then in this itself, and then maybe a memory card or something. I'm not sure how they work, the switches, but let's say you had a memory card for like saves and stuff. Then that's suddenly like, quite a lot of items already. It's probably going to be like toiletries and stuff. No? Okay, batteries. So he might be also considering one battery, one thing, right? But this is why I have a little bit of an issue, because I don't quite know, because he would have maybe been like up in the 300s if he considered screws and stuff as well. But maybe he considers one assembled item. But it's very interesting to see, like the selfie sticks and all these things that he finds necessary. There's 250 items in his life, and he has a selfie stick.
GoPro たまに使うカメラとかが割とごちゃっと入ってるかも。はい。あとは趣味のものがもう一個。
Oh, okay. So it's a hobby gear.
カバンがあって、これがリュックなんですけど、実はこれですね。これが習い事で。
Maybe he has some pencils and stuff.
剣ですね。スポーツチ
Does he do
ャ
like
ンバラ
kendo?
っていう剣術を習い事でやってて、もう本当に小学校6歳の時からやってるような趣味なんですけど、これって。
Well, that's cool. It's very interesting to see what he finds to be essentials in life. I'm sure he has toiletries, but like, if this was a woman's closet, it would be mostly clothes, I think, rather than all the games and stuff. If this was my closet, it would be predominantly maybe camera equipment and exercise equipment like boxing gloves and Muay Thai pads and stuff like that. But he has like a kind of weird, like a kendo type of sword, like a pump-up kendo sword, and video games. So that's very, very fascinating, honestly.
こんな感じで。
Flip, 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 flip. Looks like a penis.
お面が入ってますね。もうこれでスポーツできます。はい、これかぶってこれで
Flip, 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 flip.
っていう感じですね。で使い終わったら空気が抜けて、コンパクトになるので、結構日本だと剣術は剣道っていうのが主流なんですけど、こっちのスポーツチャンバラはこう なんだろう木刀じゃないので空気の剣だから結構コンパクトに持ち運べるんでちょっとここミニマリストっぽいなと。
But it has nothing to do with the minimalist because you still only have one item. Maybe he's talking about the space. But even if you had one kendo sword, I mean, I guess you'd have to have the whole kendo kit as well. That would certainly become a lot larger in his thing. But if you put the other piece downstairs and you had just like a little kendo doll there, you could bring that with you. I mean, maybe that works, but maybe he just doesn't want it because it's too many things.
思ってますね。はお手洗いです。まあトイレですね。特に何も面白いものはない。
I mean, there's toilet paper,
玄
I
関
guess.
と、まあ、ここにも少し物があったりはするんですけど、その前にここに、まずエコバッグですね。こうペタッとマグネットで貼り付くようになってて、で、まあ、こう四角の状態からペタって開くと、これエコバッグですね。でまあ
You don't actually need a shopping bag though. You could just use your like a backpack, like a yeah. But I mean, this is me trying to help him. Like I'm like, how can you be more efficient in minimalism? Kind of like, but I mean, it looks good. It looks like a good
エコバッ
idea.
グこれ自分が服と一緒でデザイン
That's why I wanted to look the same.
SJP のエコバッグ。これはこんな感じでこうペタペタと折り紙のようにこう小さく畳めてポケットに入る。
Okay, that is kind of cool
こう
though.
買い物に行く時とかはこれを玄関から取り出して使ったりとか。ここですね。ここを玄関アクセスのところに
I wonder if this man will ever get a child and be like, "You have too many things, my child. I will never accept a non-minimalist child. You have 2 toys, 3 baby diaper. You wash your diaper." You know? And I also wonder what he makes money on and how he makes the money because it doesn't seem like he's spending it on anything unless he spends it on like food or something. Maybe we get to see what he spends on, but it'd be very interesting to see. It'd be very interesting to see what he spends on and what he values in
こん
that
な感
sense.
じでまあいろいろ帰ってきて領収書入れるとか契約書類系とかが入ってたり、印鑑とかペンとか、まあ、あと消火器ですね。こういう白い消火器があるんですけど、まあ、ちょっと白いものが好きなので白い、本当は赤いんですけど消火器ってはいとか、あと日本は災害が多いのでこうパッと逃げれるように防災カバンですね。
That's really
こう
cool.
ミニマルで筒状の、まあ、この中に、ラジオとか
But it's very interesting because it seems like he has an aesthetic as well. It's not just like he has like some sort of it's not like he just wants to have less stuff. He also has an aesthetic. You pay attention to that black bag he had just now. It's like a foldable one that goes with his outfit. He doesn't like red, so he got this one in white. This one is sleek in design. Yes, it's small, but it's also sleek in design. He thinks a lot about the aesthetic as well. So I'm not sure if it's just minimalism or aesthetic. Like he also wants the aesthetic, like as a big part of it.
まあ、小物が、まあ、逃げるために必要なものが全部実は入ってたりします。あとは、靴が2足ですね。今このスニーカーとこのサンダルがあるので、傘と筋トレのサポーター、手首に巻くやつとか、あとはこれちょっとフレグランスとか防災用。
I find it funny that he has a wrist trainer for weights because I mean that's one thing that's absolutely not necessary unless he has like super brittle wrists or something.
のお水とかがここに全部、まあ、玄関で使うものを全部ここに固めてますね。でここが、まあ、水回り兼クロ
Okay.
ーゼットに
I mean, it's
な
not
ってますね。でここにドラム式洗濯乾燥機を置いて、でその上にこの突っ張り棒でクローゼットを作って、まあ、自分の服オールシーズンで全10着をここに毎日洗濯はできるので、まあ、基本2から3着ずつ同じものがあればローテーションできるっていう風に。
Maybe better.
I'm sure that some minimalists out there would be like, "Oh, you're not a real minimalist. You have more than one pair of clothing." You know, they're just like. It looks pretty empty in his house, but I'm not sure what to think, honestly. What do you guys think? Do you think he's a real minimalist? Do you think he could do better? Do you think that you would do better if you were a minimalist? Or do you think that this is way too little?
A year or so ago, I showed my closet all black, all the same clothing, just to simplify things, mostly for shoots. And people said I was like a cartoon character, but see, it's not just me.
何を着るかで迷わなくていいから、こう物だけじゃなくて、ことの方もすっきりするっていうので、こういう風に同じ服を着るっていう生活を続けてます。一回も使ったことがなくて、もう1年間お湯はためたことなくて、で基本的にもう家の近所にスポーツジムがあって、でそこに大浴場とサウナがあるんですよ。で僕サウナ入るの好きだから、ここだとそもそもサウナないし、お風呂もちっちゃいし、ただちょっと一つだけ、問題があって、あっちのキッチンなんですけど、ちょっとまだこの辺りが、自分の中では
Yeah, they have way too many items. You have a whole bowl, you have a whole pan. Wow, 2 things to drink from, and a lid for the pan. Wow, also these clips, too many items in the kitchen, of course.
少し物が多いというか、まだ減らせそう、すっきりさせたいなと思ってるところで、茶碗とかナイフとか、
Okay, you need a knife, yes.
フライパンの取っ手とか、
You need a handle for your frying pan, yes.
とかタオルとか、
And your toothbrush.
防災用の缶詰とか、プロテインとか、もろもろサプリメント。
I mean, all those supplements are not necessary if you eat properly, so you can cut down on a whole supplement box, unless, you don't get the right amount of food. And you can also cut down on the protein, because the protein powder is needed if you get enough protein. The maximum amount of protein you need if you're training is 2 times your kilogram weight. So if you're 50 kilo male, that means maximum you need 100 grams of protein a day. And that's like if you're building. But you can pretty much get away with 50 grams of protein a day if you're a 50-gram male. So from that 1 gram to 2 gram per kilogram of body weight. He doesn't need this.
とそのストック、基本は1日1回外食行って、で他はあとプロテイン飲んだり家で作ってみたいな。
That's just because he doesn't cook them, I guess.
僕スパイスカレーが好きで、外食でもいいんだけどカレーは、ただ僕辛いのが苦手で、外のカレー食べると辛くて食べれないんですよ。だから自炊で甘いカレーを作りたいんですね。スパイスカレーを作るためだけにこの調味料があったりとか、それ作る用のフライパンなんですよとか、あとここがゴミ箱ですね。
Well, he doesn't have a lot of garbage, which, I'm assuming there's a lot of, not a lot of cooking at home.
これ、
はい、
これだけゴミ箱に。
ゴミ袋買ってで袋包んでってのめんどくさいから、もう直でゴミ袋をこうやってやれば。
I mean, that works. That works
そうすると
fine.
お茶つくから、これで隠してるっていうか。あと実は僕が着てる服もこれ自分でデザインした服なんですけど、レス JP っていう名前で、これがバックレスシャツっていう商品で、名前の通りバックレスなので、カバンいらずの手ぶらシャツ。
So you designed a shirt with plenty of pockets so that you can say that this is one item. So you can have a bunch of shit in there. So you don't have to have a bag because you don't want to own a bag. But so you design your own piece of clothing to have a lot more fabric so that you can argue that you're a minimalist. Is that what I'm understanding? Am I wrong here, or is something I've forgotten or not paid attention to properly? Yeah, comment section.
これ
Tell
実
me.
はパカッと開けると、
You see what I
こんな
mean?
感じでケーブルちょっと
Like it feels like it's just a bag with multiple steps.
なのでここから例えば充電ケーブルをこう出したりとか、ここにも入る。ここにもこうやってパカッと入れて。
Isn't this just inconvenient in comparison to a bag? It looks like you're just going to break your PC easily there.
そんなにわかんないみたいな。この背中の部分にポケットがあるんですよ。なのでこのパソコンはありがとうございます。なのでここにこうやって。
Looks like Robin's gadget thing. You just pull it out of fucking nowhere. Like, oh, I have don't worry. Oh, I need some water. Don't worry, I have water here. Oh, I need my laptop. Don't worry, I'll put it up here. I need my ninja stars. Don't worry, ninja stars on the back.
収納できる。なんでここに。
Oh, that is cool.
これだけで海外旅行を手ぶらで行ったりもしました。
I I just don't think it's cool. I think it's way too many steps. I think it's just way too much fabric flowing around. Like you got two big pockets in the front. You got massive pockets in the middle. You got like 40 pockets on this thing, just so that you can call yourself a minimalist and not have a bag. Like I feel like it's much easier to break your laptop if it's literally right here by your elbow. And I think it's much easier to lose stuff if there's no zipper or anything on there. It's just very, very easy that things fall out or things, disappear. Also for pickpockets, I don't see many merits to this except for wanting to say I have no bags because I don't need it.
What? どこまで行ったんですか？
その時は台湾とか行きましたね。なんか台湾行って、でなんか荷物検査のとこで止められましたね。何も持ってないから荷物はどうしたのって言われて、まあでもここに全部あるよっつって、まあ驚かれはしたんですけど。
Wow.
That's another thing. When you travel without luggage, people are really suspicious really quickly. It's very, very interesting. Is like if I go to Norway and I have, because my family's in Norway, if I go to Norway and there's nobody in Norway, it's like sorry, I mean, my family comes to pick me up and I don't need to have anything with me. They're like, oh, where are you going? Why are you going here? Huh? What are you here for? What are you doing here? You have no luggage. Are you thinking you're going to stay? You're a foreigner, aren't you? I'm like, I blast out my mother tongue, which is Norwegian. And they're like, oh shit, you're from here. Ah, I thought you were just a casual beep. I mean, that's happened before, but not necessarily the name calling, but like the fact that people have been like, oh my God, I was shocked you're Norwegian, or I didn't think you were. I thought you were like smuggling or something. I'm like, really? You can't see my goddamn Norwegian passport?
ここが僕のワークスペースになります。出っ張りの部分にパソコンを置いて、あとは
That must be so annoying to work against that light because the light is so bright and the PC have to fight that light because your eyes is going into it. You know what I mean?
そっちの方にソファーベッドが
That's very cozy.
で、
Looks very
普
nice.
段はここで夜寝てたりとか、
Never mind. Doesn't look so
ここ
nice.
で座ってリラックスしたり
You know you could just have a futon, right?
こんな感じで背もたれも
But that's cool. I like that.
します。僕カーテンが本当に嫌いで、生活感出るし、引っ越しするときかさばるし、なんか冬になると湿気てカビたりとかするし、
So have those that go up and down that's made of plastic that you can just like screw so that they open or not.
ない方が絶対すっきりしておしゃれだなと思ってで、ただ
I don't understand him.
外から見えてプライバシーのそうですね丸見えになっちゃうから、これ自分でその目隠しシートっていう模様のかかったフィルムを自分で貼って、まあ、見えないように DIY してますね。ゲーム好きなんですよね。まあそれはテレビゲームって言われるものだったりとか、まあ、トランプとか UNO みたいなボードゲームって言われるもの、休みの日とかはそういうゲームしたりとか。
I really wonder how his friends see him, how his friendships are. Does he go out with people? Is he a loner? I'd love to know these things. Because how do you end up like this? How do you end up thinking like this? Like thinking that curtains are unsightly. I can kind of see that people don't like certain things, but not like it's like, okay, he puts on like a frosted thing, but like on the windows. But when you are trying to actively find ways to not have anything there because you want less things to have a number so you can down the number closer to 200, like it's just very difficult for me to understand that. And I'm trying to understand him, but he makes it very, very, very difficult. Every time he's like, oh, why wouldn't you just have a futon or a mattress? But like, maybe that works equally well. I've slept on the couch for years. When I was doing certain things, I was used to be a fighter, and I slept on couches a lot. And so I know that you can absolutely do that, but it's not like there's many things you need in a house except for maybe a bed and a nice chair so you don't break your body. I still haven't figured out why.
だと
He's doing
漫画ですね。漫画を読むのが好きだった
I'm
りする
assuming he
ので
rents them then.
ずっと電子書籍で
Oh,
ス
okay,
マ
digital.
ホで
Okay.
パラパラめくって漫画
That's another thing. With the digital world, he considers everything physical something he owns, but not the digital things he owned. So if you have 150 games on your Nintendo, or you have 6,000 mangas on your phone, doesn't that actually count as items that you own, even though they're not physically there? It's not like I'm a minimalist, I own 60,000 mangas on my phone. Is that a minimalist, or is it just the aesthetic and physical ownership of things? Does he count the phone as one, but none of the things he owns on the phone as one? Is digital ownership not worth anything? I'm still not understanding the mentality quite.
読んでたりとか、あとは僕アニメが好きなので、実はこの家にプロジェクターが
Oh, that's
あるん
very
ですけど、そこでアニメを見て鑑賞するのも好き。
But you can barely see shit there because he doesn't have fucking curtains.
作ったカバンなんで、はい。なんかカバンの中
Wait, is
はい。
what?
あこれ
Wait,
はい
what is this?
これパソコン
Oh.
ノートパソコンで開くとこうやって
Looks like a trashy PC. You'd be better off to keeping that Mac that you bring with you. It looks like a BlackBerry back in the days. It's like the fat fucking phones with every single letter on there. They were not very user friendly.
キーボードもあるし、これもついてるからゲームもできる Windows ノートパソコンです。
なんていうパソコン？
これと GPD Win Mini っていう、中国のメーカーなんですけど、実はなんか自分が使ってる MacBook とかよりも
Really?
CPU 処理速度が速かったりして、こんな感じでゲームができ
So he's basically just a NEET with, instead of, those typical anime NEETs that are like fat, ugly, and got like loads of garbage around them. He's one of those that's skinny and has nothing around him. He's the exact opposite.
たりしますね、これ。そのままこのポケットにこうやって入れられるくらいちっちゃい。
That's because your pockets are big, not that it's small.
外に実はもう一個だけものがあって。
Okay, is it a chair?
ベランダのところに
Or a pot or plant or something?
これです。
What? The fuck do you need that for? You don't own any items. Unless he wants to like... What?
これで引っ越しこれで物運べるので。
You don't need that to carry stuff when you're moving house. You have 250 items. The most of them are like 5 grams. You could put on your shoulders. You're lifting weights, aren't you?
これで引っ越しました。これに洗濯機とか。
Oh, washing machine. Okay. Okay, never mind. I stand corrected. I was too quick. He's completely right. This is absolutely something that logically would work.
持ち物全部詰めてこの家に引っ越してきたんですけど、その時に荷造りする時間がちょうど13分だったので、13分とこれで引っ越しが。
Jesus Christ, seriously?
なんかできるだけ業者使わないで引っ越したい。そうするとなんか前タクシー使った時ももう引っ越し当日に昼まで寝て、ちょっと今から引っ越したいな、今日ね新しい入居日だから当日にタクシー会社に電話して、すいませんなんか今から少し物運びたいんですけどちょっとタクシー呼んでもらえますかみたいな感じで引っ越したこともあるので、
That's kind of cool.
引っ越したい時に好きなタイミングで。
I agree with this. I think this is probably the one reason to have a minimalist setup. To have enough things that you can literally just get up and move. Even another thing you could do if you were in Europe, what you can do is absolutely rent like a man with a van if you have a little bit more things. But because you don't need to use a moving company then, so maybe like £150 or €150, depending on which country you live in. So you can definitely do it fairly cheaply. Like if you have enough things for it to be like a little van, but not enough things for it to be like a whole fucking house, then it's a bit easier. But like also, what happens when you get a wife that has 250 items and a child that has 250 items? Suddenly those small apartments get pretty big. And the wife needs more because you need more stuff for the kid, and then you need like maybe breast milk pumps or you need maybe a formula. There's a lot of things. So that you can do this maybe when you're young like this and have freedom like this. But maybe he doesn't want kids, of course. If he doesn't want kids, then he can probably live like this his whole life. But it's lonely, I feel.
そうですね、引っ越しは1年、どんなに長くても2年以内には。
I don't get why. It's not like it needs a
引っ
lot.
越しが好きな理由は
Maybe different
やっぱり
places.
こう引っ越しすることによってまた自分の持ち物を見直すことになる。
Also, it's just to force himself to re-examine the amount of stuff. I thought it was like maybe like he wanted to live in a different region of Japan, and that would be really cool. But if you use taxes, then that wouldn't make much sense.
ので、こう物が増えづらい習慣として家よりも外にいる時間が長くて、で僕家に住む時も街を自分の家の間取りとして考えるっていうふうに考えてて、街と暮らすっていうような言い方もしたりするんですけど、これ以上何か必要ですかねとも思います。もう必要なものは十分であるなと思うんですけど。
But that's nice. If he feels like he has more than enough, then he probably has more than enough. But he also doesn't seem to have any hobbies except for gaming and manga, which seems to be all on his 3 PCs or gaming consoles. So he has a Mac, a small PC, a gaming console, and a phone. That's pretty much all the things he needs in his life. But if you're an artist, you can't get away with not having something to draw with or paint with or something. Or if he has some content creation stuff as well. But like most hobbies require quite a lot of things. Like that's just how it is. Or if you're cooking, if you like cooking, if cooking is a hobby, then suddenly you have a whole kitchen full of stuff. It's not easy in that manner.
この家の3分の1くらいの広さの家も住んだことあるし、ただ実際物少ないからそういう小さな家にも住めるんですけど、こんだけ大きい家に住んでるのはこのプロジェクターを大画面で映したいからっていう、それだけのために。
Wow. It's as somebody who owns it, it's a fun projector. This is not sponsored. It's not sales. It's just a good projector. Shiba has his own YouTube channel, and I actually found him through a video of this pop-in Aladdin at his old apartment.
自分のこだわりをなかな
Yeah,
かこう
that's exactly what I was thinking.
理解してくれる人が少ないかなまだ。
I mean, you can definitely find somebody who likes it, but when you get kids, if you do get kids, it's going to be very difficult. And let's be honest, women like a lot more clothes, so it's going to be harder for you to find something like that. That will accept having like 5 pair of clothes. Recently, I've heard my mom just say, "Oh, you can't have this with these pair of shoes." Believe me, they end up with 150 pairs of clothing pretty easily.
とか自分のこだわりを押し付けたり
That's true. That's nice. I quite like that. It's a very nice thing.
なんか例えば同棲するとか家族を持つとか共同生活する時のパートナー探しとかはなんか大変だ
I wonder how old he is.
ただ僕は一人が好きだったりするから別に理解されないならされないで別に今一人で生活して困ってないしなとかはありますけど今後結婚して家族ができた時とかにどうなるのかなとかは
Thank you. Shiba's channel is going to be linked down below. Make sure that you go check it out. Minimalism might still be a little out of my reach, but let me know what you think down below, and we will see you again real soon.
Bye-bye.
I have a present for Shibu. I thought long and hard of what would be the best gift to give a
something that you can
and
eat.
Here we go.
Something you can eat because he doesn't want to have more stuff unless it's some sort of game or something that he would enjoy or something he could discard, but not something that is permanent.
Hi. Here you go.
Is it cakey?
どうぞ。
紙袋はいありがとうございます、ゴミ袋に使います、
I mean, that was kind of silly. Like, why didn't you just give him some cake or something like some sake or something? Because it's like, just because you're a minimalist doesn't mean you won't drink or eat stuff. So it would be nice to have something like that he could always drink up and throw. But yeah, I mean, it was a pretty interesting one, but I'll go check out this channel quickly if people are interested in seeing that. It seems like he's got a lot of use on things here. He seems to be let's see. I admire minimalists, but we visited a home of a woman who couldn't throw things away. So he does that, and it seems like he does a lot of that to people that can't throw stuff away. So he seems to be one of those. Rental, renovation, designed by minimalists. So he seems to be designing and helping people live minimally. Well, that's kind of cool. Not quite my jam, but still respect for him living his life. And yeah, that was interesting. See you guys later. Bye-bye.